We are excited to have Nishino America as our title sponsor for 2026. Nishino is driven by ingenuity and R&D, bringing innovative chemistry that works. They back every product with a customer-focused expert who knows your field and is ready to help. Stop guessing and find solutions today at www.nishino.net. Thanks again for Nishino for sponsoring the show and this episode of the Specialty Cropcast.
Welcome to the Specialty Cropcast on Pomes and Stones. Join us for real conversations with farmers, agribusiness owners, and industry experts as we dive into farming, products, and the business of agriculture, all from the people who know it best.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Specialty Cropcast, recording here in the Nishino Studios in Traverse City, Michigan, which is very important right now because we have Kat Paye in to talk about the National Cherry Festival here in the cherry capital of the world. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
This year is a little bit more special than all the other years, and that's because it's the 100 years. So I thought it was a great conversation to have to get to know what's happening that week and all of the fun things that come with it. So, and please introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do.
Certainly. Listening to that intro, I'm really intrigued because I'm like, I don't think I'm a specialist in anything related to crops. However, I do get the privilege and honor to celebrate our favorite, which is the cherry. So I am the executive director of the National Cherry Festival here in beautiful Traverse City, in the cherry capital of the world, self-proclaimed. And I have been doing that position for 10 years. Before that, I was the operations director for 5. So working under Trevor Tkach, who is a amazing friend who's now over at Traverse City Tourism. So we work in partnership in a lot of projects. And it has been a great time. But I actually started in the festival when I was 8.
Wow. Really?
I was a volunteer. Yeah. So this is actually my 36th National Cherry Festival.
Oh my gosh.
You've been at it your whole life.
I have. Maybe not all 100 years, but long enough to know some of the history, be a part of it. My family is a part of it. It is a rich piece of our history and our future as we continue to celebrate our favorite fruit.
So what draws you to come back? Did you have a memorable moment when you were young that really was like, wow, I'm gonna do this?
My story is really interesting. So I was 8 and I got to help an amazing human. His name is Jeff Nash. He did the wheelchair mile. He was a quadriplegic and I was his hands and feet for the race. So I would ride on the back of the wheelchair down to the race, and then I would pin the numbers on racers because his hands were not able to do that. Yep. And I would put the stickers on the boxes with the t-shirts for all the racers, and I would work the party as they came in, and he was best friends with my mom. And so that's how I got started. And then eventually I found the Pepsi tent. And I learned that I could scoop ice and put lids on cups. And by the time I was 12, I was running a cash register. And later, I started working mobile concessions. I met some of my best friends at the sand sculpture contest when I was in 8th grade. He is now the legal counsel of our organization.
Wow.
So there's some really rich history of being involved as a young child and getting to learn and getting some really independent skills like making change, learning to talk to adults, learning to manage volunteers. I was an operational director in the open space when I was in high school, working with people that were twice my age. And some of them I was managing as an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old. I became a board member in my early 20s and then later moved to a staff position. And then when Trevor made the decision to go over to Traverse City Tourism, I asked him, I said, I think I want to possibly apply for this. And he's not going to love me for this, so hopefully he doesn't listen to this podcast. He said, I don't think you're ready.
Oh.
And I was like, oh.
How dare you?
Okay, well, I think I am, so I'm going to go for it.
Nice.
And they hired a national search firm, searched all over the country, had lots of interviews, went on for about 3 months was the process to finally decide who was going to become the next executive director. And they ended up choosing me, and it was a very big honor. And so I've been in that position now for 10 years. So I've actually been an ambassador, an event director, worked in our recycling program. I have done the dirtiest jobs there are, all the way now to the executive director and oversee our staff of roughly 10 people, full-time year-round, People all think that we just pop up in June and hit a button and it magically appears. There's a little bit more to it. Of 150 event directors and about 2,800 volunteers. So it's an incredible opportunity, and it's been an amazing ride.
So what caused the National Cherry Festival to start 100 years ago?
Some really great growers of cherries. So I've heard from some incredible growers over time, particularly Josh Wunsch, who said you have to be certifiably insane to be a farmer and grow cherries. And I think that is similar if you are an event planner. So the Blessing of the Blossoms started in 1925. And yes, that is a very hot debate as to why we are celebrating 100 years in 2026, which we'll get into. So 1925 was the Blessing of the Blossoms out on Old Mission Peninsula. They got together to bless the crop. It's exactly what it sounds like. Bless the blossoms in May so that you have a really vibrant crop later in June and July. Well, that turned into another year later in 1926, where they said, well, this was so much fun. Maybe we should do a little bit more. Have a picnic, have pie, do the things, talk about it all. And that is kind of where the festival sort of idea became more prevalent, was, okay, how can we make this an attraction? And how can we start bringing people in? The first queen was Gertrude Brown in 1925, and her name was drawn out of a bucket on a ladder. And the next 4 names that were drawn were the court.
Wow.
And that is how the queen and her court came to be. Now it is a much larger process. And in around the 1930s and 1940s, it grew into the 3-day celebration, and then later a 6, and then now the 8-day celebration it is.
So is it going to extend?
Beyond 8 days?
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta follow the trend, right?
We're going to go back to that certifiably insane comment.
How long can you put up with all of everything it takes to run that festival?
8 days is a lot.
Oh,
we have 150 events that go on in 8 days. A lot of them are repeat. I mean, we have cherry pie eating and pit spitting and things that will go on. And then, and then some of them are singular, where it's the community rail parade or the cherry rail parade. But it is a lot that goes on in there. And then we have a 4-day setup and about 24 hours to tear it down. So those who've seen us tear it down, 11 p.m., that last firework goes off. Everyone is on a fence with their cutters ready to start cutting, because we've got to tear it down and hand it back to the city by 6 p.m. the next day.
Wow. That's got to be a lot of organization.
We have an incredible staff who works very hard.
How many people does it draw?
We guesstimate, and there is a reason for that, around 500,000 people. We are not gated. So we are open. So someone could be working downtown at a bank and walk down for lunch, and that's a guest. Someone could come in and just go to Kids Club, one of our free events, and that's another guest. The air show is over the water and free to the entire public. So it's really hard to guesstimate, but we have estimated in past years around 500,000.
Wow.
Driving through it, I would imagine.
That's a lot of people.
More than that. More than that.
It's funny because just the way that Traverse City's set up, it's just not built for 500,000 people to show up here in a 1-week period in a concentrated area. So how do you deal with trying to manage where people are parking and the shuttles and?
We don't. It's a free for all. No, I'm kidding. Well, and partially it's kind of a free for all. We don't have parking lots that you can park in. A lot of people ask, where do you park, Kat? At our office about 6 blocks away, and I walk with like every other staff member or volunteer. They put their stuff in their backpack and they trudge on down to the open space down Union Street or wherever you can find parking. We have 2 great parking decks. Traverse City Parking Department is wonderful to us to try to help us communicate to the public where to go and where to park. Construction is always a challenge. We have a great relationship with both the city and the county to update us on that so that we can then educate public as much as we can on where they can go and find parking. We highly recommend people find parking early and park for the day. Don't plan on leaving or coming back because we end up in the same traffic jam as everyone else. Getting back and forth.
There's no way around it, especially now that we lost the bridge. I mean, there's only so many ways to go east to west across Traverse City, and it's funneling everybody into like the same 3 roads. And
plan ahead, pack snacks.
Plan ahead.
Keep the kids entertained. There's nothing worse than sitting in traffic with a couple upset kids. Even Elmer's was posting a video showing people how to zipper merge.
Zipper merge.
Because people are still cannot figure out how to correctly
Yeah,
zipper
no.
merge and not block traffic 5 miles before you're supposed to.
They don't know how. No.
So if it was 1925 was the very first one, what did the festival look like back then? Did they have the attractions back then, or was it more
It was
like a
26.
circus?
26 was the first one.
Yeah. 25
Sorry.
was the first Blessing of the
That's
Blossoms.
right.
26 was the first festival, I guess you could say.
So embarrassed.
And then by the time you got to the 1940s, we became what I would say we were more known for now was the Traverse City Cherry Festival, and then became the National Cherry Festival, which is where we are today. A lot of actually, in doing a big history research that we've done in the last probably 2-3 years, we've learned that a lot of the events are still here. So we still have pie eating. We still have pit spitting. We had a pet show in the 1930s. We have a pet show now. There are things that have changed, maybe evolved a little bit. Our queen and her court used to arrive via Coast Guard cutter
Wow.
through the bay into the open space park. It was a huge hubbub in the 1970s when the queen and her court exited the boat in pantsuits and not dresses. Apparently, it caused an entire city commission meeting over the fact
wow.
that the queen arrived in pants and not a dress. So, yes.
That's been changed.
That has been changed. But there's a lot of things that have really remained the same. We still have the 2 amazing parades. The parade routes are very similar to what they were then. They haven't changed a lot as the development of Traverse City has happened. I was surprised to learn over the 100 years we have the same route. It just goes the opposite direction. Now we go from Railroad in front up Union. We used to come down Union and end at F&M Park.
Gotcha.
So there's some differences there, but really the same kind of footprint that we've seen for the last 100 years. The air shows, even before the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds first came to us in the 1970s, Blue Angels 1988, and they've been flying pretty much ever since. Previous to that, we'd have the Blimp. We had other airplanes. We actually had an air show over the fairgrounds at one point. That's where our air show was. So look at the Queens were actually in planes. At one point, they arrived in planes.
Wow.
The relationship with the Coast Guard was fascinating to me, that actually started in the 1930s and not more recent. So our strong relationship with Coast Guard Air Station Traverse City has gone well beyond the history that I thought it had,
Right.
as the Queen and her court arrived on a Coast Guard cutter in the bay. And it is something that has been very deep relationship between the 2 organizations. And then the actual original Blessings of the Blossoms was funded by Kiwanis and Optimus. And then later, the expenses were funded by the city and the county. That is not the way it is now.
Oh,
Let me just state that. So now we are a private 501c3 and raise all of our funds to be able to put on all the events that we have.
Wow.
wow. That's impressive because, as you know, 8 days, that's a lot of events to fill that much time frame, obviously.
It is. We have 150 different events. Our budget is right around 6.3 million in revenue, and our expenses is about 6.29. So
Just enough.
it is about the same. We try to put a little bit into our savings every year for the next year is kind of the goal, to be able to do that. And we have about a $43.5 million impact on
on the area.
Yearly
That's incredible.
in 8 days.
Yeah, that's impressive. That many people can really change things in a short period of time. So what's different for the 100 years? Is there any special event that's going on to celebrate specifically the 100?
You know, we've been celebrating for many months, just different things as we're doing even from our junior royal crownings. Our first graders, our amazing prince and princesses, got crowned at Milliken Auditorium a few weeks ago. And that was all very 100 focused. And you'll see that on a lot of the things that we're doing. We brought back some nostalgia events for sure. So bed races are back. The milk carton boat regatta, which is a fan favorite out in the water, will be an incredible exhibition again. I think we've got at least 12 boats that have signed up so far. So that is a lot of fun. You know, your team can sign up and build a boat out of milk cartons, and you too can race it out in the bay.
Are you going to be free?
No, I think we'll be shaking
Might
cherries.
be farming.
Yeah.
I know. So those are 2 more of the nostalgic pieces I think that we have worked on. There are some, I would say, closed events that we are happening to celebrate certain groups of people. Our past presidents and former National Cherry Queens are having a big lunch during the week that will be celebrated. We have some orchard dinners that are going on where you can have dinner out overlooking a cherry orchard, not in the orchard because yes, they're shaking.
There's no food allowed
in them, but overlooking them, some great opportunities to kind of get out and see where the cherries really started, where it all began. We have a history exhibit in the lower level of Horizon Bookstore. That'll be a 2D and 3D dimensional exhibit to be able to see. Like we have the original Queen's dress from 1926.
Wow.
We've got a lot of amazing historical pieces that have either been dropped off at our office over the years as someone has cleaned out a garage or a barn, or, we have kept it ourselves. We got about 50 boxes worth of things that has been cataloged and will all be on display. And then we have a 100-year documentary, which we have been filming for the last 10 years. So that quote that I gave earlier from Josh Wunsch is actually in that video, when he said everyone's certifiably insane who grows cherries. It's a wonderful 90-minute documentary that we'll be showing this year too.
Where's that going to play?
We are hopeful it'll be at the State Theater.
I would imagine.
That's
It's probably a great place for it.
We're just waiting on the date and time confirmation, but that is our hope that we'll have that playing throughout the week. And then we will probably have a red carpet party ahead of time to make sure we're celebrating all the growers that were a part of it. Because that's really who was filmed and everything in the creation of this, to showcase not only 100 years of the Cherry Festival, but really it's 100 years of cherries grown in northern Michigan and what that has meant to our region.
Yeah, because I know that you guys are interviewing some farmers in the area, and is that what that's a part of? Is that kind of, it's nice to still go back and talk to the farmers and the families that have been farming for that long, that are still farming today, and get what they think being a farmer in the industry means, and what it means to the families individually, but also to the region. So it's a great documentary series to really have. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Same. I've seen the first 10-minute or the 10-minute little trailer, as I call it. That's about, and most people were in tears watching it, going, "Oh, that's amazing!" And
at the luncheon, right?
Yes.
Yep. We saw that.
Yeah. So it's a great tie-in of what the industry and the festival and how they still work together. It is our great privilege that we get to celebrate this fruit. If we didn't have growers that were doing it, we wouldn't have anything to celebrate.
Right.
I mean, we need the growers. We need the cherries. We want to help in any way we can. And it's our privilege to be that marketing piece to it of a way to celebrate it in as many fashions as we can. So at the festival, you see not only cherries and cherry pie, but you get to have it in pit spit. You get to have it in a pie eating contest. You might just get a bag of dried cherries handed to you after a race or something like that. Any fashion of which we can give it and showcase it and show that it's more than just this. So it's more than just the cherry in the cup. That is a wonderful way to eat it. Fresh cherries are great, but you can have it on ice cream. You can have it in pie. You can have it in barbecue sauce. Did you know it can make it in a hot sauce? Did you know you can get it in cheese, in jerky? If there is a possible way to put cherries into something, someone in northern Michigan has figured it out, and we want to know about it so that we can showcase it down to the festival, because what happens is our guests go home with it, and then they read the back of the package and go, where can I get more? And hopefully there is a website or something, or they call our office year round and say, I got this incredible cherry vinaigrette at the farm market. Where can I get more? And we go look at the list and the menus and see who is selling it and connect them.
Right.
We're the conduit and the connector, hopefully, to them, the cherries, to everyone's bellies around the world who need more.
Yep.
Because we want to showcase northern Michigan's greatest fruit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, hopefully, I think True Tart is that live now? That should be out. So hopefully they can get themselves some U.S. Tart Montmorency product that's easily identifiable on the back of that label.
Did you know about True Tart?
Tell me more.
It's
I might, but I'm
it's like the industry signage, like certified Angus beef.
Yep.
And
okay.
so it's the tart cherry, the U.S. tart cherry industry's way of trying to differentiate our product from other products and make sure that it has a right amount of percentage of tart Montmorency cherry in it, in order to get that, whether it's juice or any other fashion, whether it's mixed in nuts, it has to have a certain amount of U.S. grown. And so I think that's about to be rolling out this summer, which is CMI and CIAB's big thing. We had Amy on the podcast and she explained a lot of it for a good while. So I think that should be rolling out this summer. I thought so.
So I knew about it. I didn't know what it was called.
Okay.
I'm familiar with what it is, but I was like, I don't want to misspeak in case that's not.
Yeah,
quite
True
it.
Tart is the name.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you did
I haven't
job
seen it.
explaining
Anything?
I haven't either.
Anything to add, Steve?
No.
Are you sure?
No, that was great.
I feel
You
like I
did
missed
way
something.
better than I would have done.
I feel like I missed something.
Nope.
You sure?
Nope. I do have a question though. Are the Blue Angels coming back?
Yeah. What happened?
Not in 2026. I can talk about that.
I know
So-
every year they come. I hear that
This is gonna be a great clip.
Oh, they'll never be back, and then it's like boom, they're back. And then it's like, now they're never going to be back again. And now they're back. So,
Well, they never weren't not going to be back.
I just heard it from somewhere.
So in 2026, so it's also America's 250th birthday on the 4th of July, which happens to be our first day of the festival.
Yep.
So 4 or 5 years ago, we really started planning this year. We put in, of course, our request for the air show, and it would be an even year. So traditionally it would be a Blue Angel year.
Yep.
And so we didn't think there would be an issue. No one thought that another air show would possibly move its dates to the 4th of July to specifically celebrate America's 250. And they did. And so the Blue Angels were mandated by,
Gotcha.
the higher ups that be to that air show in Jones Beach in New York. And so, yep.
Hate to see it.
So unfortunately for us, and they were very nice to us. Blue Angels like, we're really sorry we didn't know. And so we were, obviously very gracious. They will be back in 2027. It is confirmed.
Okay.
So Blue Angels are coming back.
Sweet.
Just unfortunately for 2026, no. And then came the Thunderbirds and they said, well, maybe we're going to have the Thunderbirds. And so we thought until maybe this last December that the Thunderbirds were really a hopeful for this year. And I don't know if their schedule has yet been announced or not. But as of early March, they still weren't sure what their plan was. So both teams love Traverse City. They absolutely loved coming here, and they both, I anticipate, will be here again.
Okay.
I feel like I did hear that. Someone's like, if they don't come one year, you can't get back on their schedule and they're out.
There is something to be said for that. It's not necessarily not on their schedule, but it has to do with, the teams don't like to come. We're an anomaly. I don't know how to say this. We're an anomaly that we've had a team every year for 10 years. That is just unheard of. So every year we put in our request for them and they choose the places they go.
Gotcha.
So they look at Traverse City and say yes or no. And thankfully we've been a yes for 10 years between these teams. And then all of a sudden they didn't come. Right. And then they didn't come again. And everyone's like, they're never coming back. That's not true.
I know. I heard the rumors. The rumors spread. So if the Thunderbirds can't come this year, what are we going to do?
What do you fill it with?
So we still have an air show. Don't worry. We had an air show last year and we didn't have either team either.
Oh.
So
I didn't go last year. Sorry.
That's okay. So we have the F-16 Viper demo. We have an F-18 Rhino demo. We've got a C-17 demo, a C-130. Trying to think what else. I think those are the 4 military demos. And then we also have our civilian acts, which are always a lot of fun. For those who've seen our Skywriter, Nate Hammond and his Super Chipmunk will be out there doing skywriting. He makes cherries and butterflies and smiley faces and everything in the sky, and everyone loves it. He will be flying both our day and our night show. And then, of course, we have Kyle Fowler out there. Mike Goulian on his, I think, last season flying will be here. And we have RJ Gritter. So we have 4 civilians and 4 military acts filling up that time between 1 and 4 on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
So it'll still be a great air show. But yes, we don't have the big headlining teams that everyone usually goes, is it a Thunderbird or a Blue Angel year?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, now we're going to be opposite. So previously we were even years were Blue Angels.
Right.
2027 is going to be Blue Angels. Everyone's going to have to update their schedule.
I know they're still going to have to. Did you guys watch the Was it? I forget what was on, but there's a documentary of the Blue Angels and how they choose the pilots and everything.
Yeah,
super cool.
Yeah. Now there's one on the Thunderbirds too.
Yeah, I watched that as well. Those are pretty neat. You learn a lot of stuff that you didn't think about. I didn't know they rotated people that fast. It's every 2 years they rotate the captain out.
Will there be? Is there F-22s coming?
Not this
year. Okay.
No. 90% sure.
We should get the stealth bombers fly over. I'm sure Trump could make that happen for us.
We do what we can to get as many aircraft as we can.
No, they've been great.
No, I know. It is a challenge. And then you also have to worry about deployments and things like that. So we've got a few of our acts right now are, we're hopeful, but some of them are deployed at the moment.
Yep.
So we'll see what actually comes in July.
Is that one of the biggest? Do you rank what brings in the most people? Is there a way to quantify what events are successful, and then maybe one that you don't bring back is it based on attendance or survey? Or do you guys just wing it? People show up regardless of what you put out there.
Well, 90% of our events are free to the public, so it's really hard to gauge that. A lot of it has to do with participation, and we try to keep things relevant. So, in the 80s, big wheels were a big thing for the kids. Everyone had a big wheel. So big wheel races were where it was at. Well, now it's balance bikes. So we have evolved. We don't have a big wheel race. We have a balance bike race. Skateboarding. We had a skateboarding competition in the early 90s for our teen activities. Nope. Now that is, I'm trying to think what we now do, but it's all of these things have kind of evolved and moved as things have been more exciting or more pertinent to the age groups.
Yeah, right. Or trending.
Yeah.
Trending things. Because skateboarding was huge, like you're saying, back in the day. You had all the
Tony
Bam
Hawk Pro
Margera and Tony Hawk and all that. It's not
Me
really
and
that
Zach
much of a
played
thing.
that.
I mean, plenty of people still, you look at the Civic Center, there's people skateboarding down there still, but it's not
It's
as
not
widely as
what it
popular
was.
as it used to be. So that is
No.
funny that you got to respect the history, but then also kind of be on the cutting edge of kind of what's happening. But
We had pickleball last year, for example. We had a pickleball tournament, of course.
I didn't know about that. We probably could have dominated.
probably. I haven't played since I was actually advanced PE gym class champion at Elk Rapids.
Whoa.
So watch out.
Whoa.
You
You
don't
got to
wanna
get
see
that
me.
banner hung in the new gym there.
It says Felker Court in the corner.
Yeah.
Wow, I got off topic quick.
Yep.
Now I lost my train of thought. So was it more? How much more pressure was it to come up with the 100-year than a normal year? But you said you've been planning for 5 years.
We have, but as I just reviewed, like the Blue Angels weren't coming. Then we thought the Thunderbirds, then that's not happening. And now we're over here. And so I think as we planned, plan A, plan B, plan C, we're on like plan N at this point on some things because we had these great ambitions and ideas 5 years ago. And we've worked them through down to, okay, can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? Nope. Next. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? Nope. Next.
Yep.
And I think for us, it has been keeping the expectations of the public while also maintaining our traditions and the new events as we can do them. We can't take away the things we already do to add something super incredible for 1 year because the things that we do, the community relies on in different ways.
Yep.
So Junior Royals, for example, those incredible first graders from 30 plus elementary schools, their programming is already figured out for the year. And so our budgets are already set for that. So we can't take away from something we've already done or helping provide funds towards the school floats, or there's just so many little intricate things that all have to feed together. It's just one piece of the pie. So our 100 years is incredibly important and we want to make sure we're celebrating it, but we also want to be realistic that we want to live for another 100 years. So we can't spend everything that we've been saving on it. So it's interesting to hear the public kind of talk about that in the comments of every article.
Right.
Is, they're like, well, we've expected them to pull out all the stops.
Right.
Well, we're trying to, but some things are out of our control,
Right.
i.e. Blue Angels.
Yep.
Right.
So I think for some of the stuff, it was like, well, how do we do it? And we do assess our events yearly and say, okay, was there participation? Does it make sense to keep going? Is the venue still available for whatever it may be? Because so many community partners are involved in making these happen, from hole-in-one contests to golf outings to our fashion show, Princess Tea, Queen's Ball. We have to make sure venues are open on the 4th of July,
Right.
that are willing to be open and not go celebrate with their families because we have an event we have to host somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes you might just think that it's just the open space in downtown and where the carnival's at and stuff like. But it's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
It's all over.
We have events out at the Grand Traverse Resort. We have events out on the other end of town. We've got things out in orchards in Sutton's Bay. Then we're out in Leelanau. And so if you think about, yes, it's a lot centrally located into downtown Traverse City. It isn't all of it. And some of it even happens before the festival begins. And, we've got kickoff parties and things like that where we're celebrating our volunteers and making sure they're geared up and they're excited to come in and manage these events. We have 10 amazing staff, but there are 10 of us. There are 150 events. So we don't have our direct hands in every single thing. We rely on our incredible volunteers and event directors to make it happen. So our job is to outfit them with everything they need and arm them with all the stuff and say, go and celebrate and be merry and do all the things and welcome both locals and visitors alike. Because we have a lot of locals who attend our events and they are generations of fun and traditions as well.
How many people does it take to put on a festival like this, from volunteers to organizers?
About 2,800,
Wow.
2,800 volunteers.
roughly.
That's an incredible amount of people. But
It
it's
is.
a
And that is our volunteer coordinator would probably argue that number. He thinks it's lower, but we used to have around 2,800, and I would say we are still pretty accurate because it doesn't count all of the people that maybe are not signed up in our volunteer portal. So there's a lot of committees. There's a lot of background work. I think about every farmer on the farm who is having to park a car and welcome someone for a tour and having to open their home and having to come out and look at the orchard, and all the stuff year round is about 2,800 people and 45,000 man hours is put in to put on a national festival of this size. Because as we just talked about, it's everywhere. So we've got people out at the Grand Traverse Resort setting up for a golf outing, and we at the same time have a pancake breakfast going on in the beer tent before the beer tent's open. And then
Pancakes and beers.
beer is not served till noon. And they're also out putting out buoys in the bay, preparing for the air show because we've got to secure that. And so there's just so many little facets that are going on all at the same time.
Right.
That it's incredible to watch it all come together.
Right. You wish you could like control all of it yourself, but across all the events and all the days and all the people, and it's impossible. So you have to depend on good, trustworthy individuals that want to sacrifice their holiday week and weekend to make sure that an event goes smooth. So the appreciation can't go unmentioned. That's for sure.
It can't. It takes all of them, and so many of them give up their vacation time. This is their vacation time from their day job to come spend it with us, and we're grateful.
Right. What are you personally most excited about this year? What's your number one?
Seeing our volunteers.
Seeing the volunteers, getting them all juiced up.
My favorite is the volunteers. I love it. It's probably my favorite part of the morning. Obviously, I come down to the open space fairly early, and I get to walk through and see it before it's opened and get to see all the volunteers like rolling up the tent sides, coming out, and they're sheer joy.
They're like the honeybees, right? In the
pure
orchards.
joy.
Like yesterday, a beautiful day for pollen.
Beautiful day for bees.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I have an entire, yes.
Yep. It's like that.
They are incredible, and they're happy, and they cannot wait to see you. And I am sitting there going, thank you. And if I have something to hand out, I am all about it. Our volunteer tent usually has goodies too to hand out. They're incredible, and they have done it for so long. This is like seeing 40 sets of parents every morning because most of them I have known since I was little.
Right.
So I walk through and it's good morning. And, oh, how's your day? And how's this? And how's Fluffy? And, we talk about the animals and ask everyone about everything, but we are a family first. We're family first. I know all of them. I know their kids. I know their grandkids. They know my kid. My son is 7. He volunteers. He volunteers with grandma because it's a family affair. Right. So my mother, who's almost 80, runs our Ambassador Oasis, which feeds our volunteers every day.
Wow.
And she feeds about 300 to 400 people a day in there. And my son works with her. He hands out the pop in the water and signs everyone in and makes sure they sign their names. And he is very rigid about that. You better sign it.
Nobody gets by.
You better, if you are, and he'll ask you what event you worked that day, because that's what you're supposed to do. Go sign in and get your meal. So, but it's a family affair, and we have a lot of that. We have kids that have grown up in this festival and have learned these, as I said earlier, incredible skills. And in volunteerism is a part of their lives, and it was a part of my life growing up. So my favorite part is to see all of them, whether it's the parade route, walking in the open space in the morning, or at our volunteer kickoff party. I just want to hug them all and be like, thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited to see you. It's old home week for us. Right.
One of my next questions is what's the turnover, or how many are people that are coming back every year? But you pretty much answered that.
All of them.
It's very consistent is what it sounds like.
We have several volunteers celebrating 60 years with us.
Wow.
This is what they do. I don't know. We talk about 2020 a lot in our office. The year that wasn't for the festival. And there was multiple years that it wasn't. 1927, 1942 to 47. And then again in 2020. And it was really hard because I sat there and I looked at our staff and I was like, we can't, their livelihoods. It was the first thing I thought of when I became the executive director, was that I had 6 people that relied on my leadership to keep the roof over their head. If the festival didn't work well and a festival failed, they can't stay employed. So the first thing I thought of was the roofs over their heads and their families. And I was like, oh, what a weight. Well, then COVID happened. And I sat there and was like, oh no, not only do we have 10 people in here who are now looking at me going, what are we going to do? All of the vendors, all of the growers, all of the cherry product that needs to be sold, all of the things from the Gibby fries to everything. This is their livelihoods. And I think sometimes people forget that Arnold's Amusements, they are a local family. They started Arnold's Amusements here in the 60s. Everyone was relying on the festival to happen and it couldn't. Mm-hmm. And we managed to survive a year without getting into our rainy day fund, which was shocking because we're so resourceful and we have learned that from our growers, quite frankly. So we went and landscaped yards. We catered picnics because we had grills. And I was like, anything and everything we can do to make the payroll not every month was what we were going to do.
Right.
So that we didn't have to dip into the rainy day fund. So when we could come back, we would. And we would come back for the community. And we did. And we did strong. So I think for us, it's the driving force every day is how do we show up and how do we continue to support the greatest fruit in our opinion.
Yeah.
And the people behind it really, because it is family.
Yeah. Everybody, I mean, even just down the road, you're full of family. Family. Our farm's family. Everybody. Yep. And they get intertwined sometimes. And it's just, you could see it as just so important to everyone. And a lot of the people that are still left out there farming are just multi-family generations that have figured out how to do it because the cherries cycle is very up and down.
For us then, we were founded by farmers. So it makes sense that our model is the same. We're family. We're family. We're generations of it. You know, if the Pepsi tent is a great example, the Callahans have been in there forever. Well, when they started to retire out, their son took over. I have multiple generations running the same tent and the same event in the festival because that is what we do. So yes, we don't have turnover. They unfortunately eventually pass, and that is when they no longer volunteer.
Right.
We're kind of like, you know, the National Guard at times. We're 1 weekend a month, 3 weeks a year. It's very much what we do and kind of our unwritten motto, but it is family, always.
And obviously all of this goes on. We've been talking just about the Cherry Festival, but you guys do a lot more events too. It's not just that.
It is. So we do a lot of events year round. So starting in New Year's Eve, we have the charity ball drop, which is a 600-pound cherry. So why would it not be in our world? To celebrate the ringing in of the new year, which benefits food insecurity in our community. We choose a different nonprofit every year. Leaping Leprechaun 5K is our St. Patrick's Day run that we have done the last about 14 years. And then we have the Iceman Cometh Challenge, the largest mountain bike race in the country for point to point. We start in Kalkaska at the airport and we finish at Timber Ridge in Traverse City. Of about 5,000 riders, 10,000 spectators. It is a marvelous time in the woods. And that one, celebrating about 37 years, is very family centric as well. So it really fits into our family of events impeccably. Steve Brown started it in his garage. And here we are today, with him still involved and his family. Because again, we're family first. And it has been a really fun ride.
I did my first turkey trot last year.
Ooh.
I didn't think you would finish.
Oh, I did. It took me 27 minutes.
Wow.
And I checked my Apple Watch
do a mile?
afterward. No, to do a 5K. And afterward I checked my Apple Watch and my heartbeat was 198 the entire time.
What?
It's an effort. Very hard.
27 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, it was awful. It was cold that day.
Did you run
It
the
was
Traverse
cold.
City Turkey Trot?
Yes.
It
Yeah,
was
the Traverse City
very,
one.
It was
very
cold.
cold.
Yeah.
We helped
It was
manage
snowing.
it. And did you get pie at the end?
I elected for bananas and water.
Okay, fair.
I think I needed that a little more than the pie.
We do serve pumpkin pie at the finish line. We feel very strongly about food as a good motivator.
Yes.
To get people to either volunteer or run a race. So yes, it was a very cold turkey trot this year.
Yeah, there
we'll
was
give you that.
slush on the road, and one thing I do have to say is the route when you go out of town past you leave at St. Francis, you go out and then you funnel everybody into the zigzag going up the bridge. That's a real bottleneck when I'm trying to get a good pace going. But other than that, it was a great route.
I will let Alexis in our office know your comments on
If you
the race
did
route
it
and turkey trot.
reverse, it would be thinned out by the time you hit the
Okay.
boardwalk there around going around the Boardman. But so looking toward the future, how's the organization working toward attracting younger generations? Do you go out and look for extra help to help bring in that youth, or do you think it's through the families like you mentioned today?
I think it's both because we always want new blood. For sure. We always want more people to come and be a part of it and enjoy it and make it part of their family traditions. So we do a lot of presentations in schools, going out recruiting for volunteerism, because we also think that's important for everyone to know about volunteering and how important it is to be a part of your community, whether it's with us or another organization. Volunteering and having that be a part of your life and within the Traverse City community is very important to us. So we have a trademark that is Volunteer City USA. We really think that Traverse City knows how to volunteer better than anyone. And it is really true if you look around at all of the opportunities there are in our region to volunteer. But yes, we do recruit at schools. We also recruit at various groups. We are very active in recruitment year round always. And then we arm all of our existing volunteers with recruitment tools to bring in more volunteers. So yes, if you ever want to volunteer, cherryfestival.org and you can sign up.
Nice.
If someone's never attended the Cherry Festival before, why should this be the year that they come?
Every year should be the year they come. But this year, for example, we are starting on the 4th of July, and it is going to be a spectacular day. We have opening ceremonies first thing in the morning where we cut a giant pie to, as we do every year, a big, big pie to symbolize the opening of the festival, because how else would we do
You
it?
have to.
That's
You can't do a ribbon cutting.
No, that's just
Gotta
silly.
be cut the pie.
So we have to cut a giant pie, beautiful, from the Grand Traverse Pie Company. They do the cherry crumb. It's amazing. So we open with that. There's pancake breakfast even before that has happened up in our beer tent. Again, no beer served till noon, but still. Cherry topping is had on those pancakes, so it's a good time. And then, of course, by lunch, it is time for the air show. 1 o'clock, the air show starts, goes till 4 p.m. And then we are going to have David Lee Roth as our concert on the Pepsi Bayside Music Stage. At around 6 o'clock, gates open for that. Show will be shortly after. And then that night, we will have fireworks, courtesy of our friends at the Traverse City Boom Boom Club, as well as the Cherry Festival, because we are going to have not only the fireworks, but drones and 2 planes with pyrotechnics that also happen. All choreographed to music in a lovely 30-minute display from 10:30 to 11 p.m. And that just ends day 1.
Wow.
That day 1. We could have a whole podcast just through the schedule. Day 1, day 8. We got to fill up a whole
By
episode.
the time we get to day 2, we're kicking off with more. But I mean, and that's what I always suggest people check out cherryfestival.org for that full schedule of events. It does continually change as things get added. So take a look at that. Find your favorite couple days or all week. Book your rooms, come on up, or just come down from your home. Either way, if you live here, come enjoy. See all the fabulous things that are going on, whether indoor and outdoor. Because we've got those really fun ticketed events too. The fashion show with the Queen and her court, where they're showcasing all the downtown stores fashion, which is a lot of fun. It's a great lunch. And that is at the City Opera House. Then you've got Princess Tea. Which little girl does not want to go meet the Queen and her court in beautiful ball gowns? A lot of fun at the Park Place. There's the orchard tour and more, where you can tour an orchard as it's currently a working orchard. And that is out at the Hort Station. Every day you can go out there and taste cherry products and be immersed into it and learn more about cherry growing and what happens and all of the large issues that our cherry growers face. And we know there's so many, and they get to talk about that and learn more about where your food is made, which is great.
Right. We always talk about the disconnect between what people think actually happens on the farm and what you see in the store. And so it's super cool to see that you guys can kind of funnel some people over there that are interested to see that firsthand. Right.
I'm not sure Dr. Nikki wants more, but we're always like, go to the orchard tours and more.
Oh, Nikki can handle it.
9 to noon, Monday through Friday.
She'd like to celebrate too, but she's I gotta do these tours.
Yeah.
Remember, August 27th is the farm tour Nikki was talking about. We did the 1 year the bus tour sponsored by the Benzie Manistee County Hort Society. But they have yet to decide where those events are going to be taking place. I think they're coming to this side of the bay, though.
Amos Farms? No?
Haven't heard anything.
No.
They're just going to show up. All right, so to close this out, I wanted to play a game.
Oh.
I'm going to play music from the performers at the Pepsi Bayside Music Stage and see if you guys can guess who they are.
I would say, Jim, do you know all the options?
I don't even know.
I went through
That's what I was going to say.
You don't know the options?
Do they know the lineup to know what they're...
All right, I'm going to read the lineup. Let's just
No, just do it.
No, I'm going to read the lineup. You ready?
I didn't know Soulja Boy was coming.
I didn't
to the
either.
house.
I was like, Soulja
Sunday
Boy.
night, July 5th.
Do you know them all? Tell us the lineup.
I probably do. Oh, well, we're going to test my knowledge here. David Lee Roth is on July 4th. July 5th is Soulja Boy and Bow Wow. July 6th is Chase Matthews and Lauren Elena. July 7th is Casey and the Sunshine Band. What am I on, July 8th?
I'm not looking at the dates. I'm looking at the artists to make sure you're hitting all the artists.
Casey and July 8th would be Daughtry. And then the next one would be The Fray. And then we've got Justin Moore. And then the last one would be Ludacris.
Nice.
I knew Luda was coming to town.
My wife already bought tickets to Ludacris,
So did
not even
mine.
knowing if I'll be
So did
able
mine.
to go.
Not for me,
We
though.
could send them together.
Not for me.
Oh, I'll send my wife to go with your wife.
She's going with friends.
To be fair, my husband also bought tickets to Ludacris.
So my wife can't go with your wife. They're not
No,
friends.
they're not friends. Not friends.
All right, so I'm going to play one song from each artist that I made a playlist of this morning to see if you guys can guess exactly who it is. And they're pretty all over the board, obviously, because you want to have a good selection for all of the
we
guests.
have a very
so-
eclectic lineup in the idea that we hit every genre.
Right, so I'm hoping that you guys
That's
can
a
figure
challenge in
this
and of
out.
itself.
I think there's only one female performing, so I'm hoping you can get that one at least, Zach.
It's got to be David Lee Roth.
Nice. Look at Zach.
Zach.
He's all over it.
Daughtry.
He says he's not going to get one, and he's just nailing them.
Justin Moore. I saw your
You
phone.
saw it. You guys are 3 for 3.
I don't know the girl's name.
Lauren Elena.
Luda.
Zach's going to be in the front row. Shirt off, swinging it around.
That's Casey and the Sunshine Band.
We're running out of songs here.
Justin Moore? No,
No, we already did that.
the other one.
Starts with a C.
Chase Matthews.
Yep.
The Fray.
Steve.
Lil Bow Wow.
Nice. You
That
guys
was
are
a
great.
guess.
And the last one.
Luda. Soulja Boy.
Boy.
We already did this one.
He yells Luda. You guys did way better than I thought you were gonna.
Oh, man.
You
Zach
guys did
filled
not.
in where
you
I didn't
guys
know.
You guys
That
didn't
was
seem
great.
very confident, but you guys did great. I picked their most popular songs off of Spotify in no order.
You did great.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to say before we're wrapped up? Anything else we didn't touch on that you feel is important to let the folks know about the Cherry Festival?
I don't think so. I think you guys covered a
You
lot
covered
here.
a
I mean,
lot.
I think
Yeah.
we did pretty good.
We did good. We
Really good.
Is there some new special event that you're doing for the 100 year? Like one that you've added for this year?
We kind of touched on a few of them earlier. I think the documentary was big, the historical exhibit, the bed races, the milk carton boat regatta. I'm sure there's something I'm missing that we're doing for the 100th. I think what we've done more importantly is incorporated the 100th and more cherries, if it is all possible, into all of the existing events. I think that's the biggest thing that we've done more so is any way we can add more cherries into something, we're trying to do it. And trying to kind of really emphasize more importantly than just our 100th is that it's about the cherries. It is that, and I know people have all asked, well, how is Ludacris about cherries? And I was like, here's the thing. They bring the people in sometimes and then they find that they didn't know they needed a cherry pie flurry in their life. And they went to the ice cream tent and they had a full slice of cherry pie mixed with ice cream in a flurry. And they were like, I love cherries far more than I thought. And that right there is a win.
Yep.
So that is,
If you do that one time, or you do it 1,000 times, or you do it half
Yeah.
a million times, that's what we're looking for.
that's where it's at. And I will say Nelly, when he was here the 2 different times, is obsessed with cherries now because we got him cherry pie flurries and we go backstage with all of the cherry products and hope they will consume or take them with them. Multiple bands have reached back out and said, okay, we got this ridiculously good cherry salsa. Where do we get it again? That is the goal. That's our mission right there. How do we put more cherries into the bellies of people and get them exposed to them and realize, even if you don't like a fresh cherry, there's all these other options to love and enjoy them, and make sure that you're ordering them and keeping that commodity up.
Awesome. And we always close out with offering an opportunity to let people know where they can find out more information or any social media pages that they can locate any and all things about the Cherry Festival.
Certainly, cherryfestival.org is going to be the place to look at the schedule, plan your activities, plan rooms, any of that. You can plan your entire visit at cherryfestival.org. And then we are on social media on multiple platforms. Just search Cherry Festival.
Awesome. There'll be clips of this we'll tag the Cherry Festival in it so people can see this as well. If no one else has any other questions for Kat, I think it's a great place to stop. Thank you so much for coming in and taking the time out of your week.
Great job.
Yeah, this was fun. You did great.
Thank you.
We did a great job working through all those questions.
You guys did great.
All right. Well, this podcast is available anywhere you get your podcasts. Thanks, obviously, to our sponsor, Nishino, for supporting conversations like this. And we'll catch everybody on the next episode of the Specialty Cropcast.